Yeah, you don't care. Right, it's my fucking noise gate then. I'll have to check my settings on Streamlabs because it was perfect on that. Right, let's go back to the beginning because again, I don't mind doing it again. Like it's like a first take, you know. So when Victor latches onto a survivor, broken, oblivious, incapacitated, buff the incapacitated effect so that they can't vault, drop pallets, or heal. Or they can't heal anyway, or unhook. I don't know if they can unhook or not, but they should not be able to do that. Like they should be complete dead weight when Victor's latched onto them, and make it so that Victor's aura is visible while on their back, so that it's really risky to try and deny the killer of the power. Let Victor crawl back inside of Charlotte. Either when you're playing one of them and you're facing the other, you can press the power button, which is M2 by default on PC, and they can climb inside. Victor can climb inside and be ready to be unleashed straight away without any cooldown. And it's the same if you hit a survivor whilst Victor's on their back, you get Victor back. Like Victor is immediately ready to be unbound, ready to be shot out the womb. And then to offset the amount of times you could just completely negate the cooldown, you just change the 6 seconds to 12 seconds to make it more punishing for Victor to be crushed. And crushing Victor, when it comes to actually crushing him, it should only be if he misses a pounce or if he stands still completely, and not if you get a successful down with it, because it punishes you for correctly using your power, and that's very, very, very unhealthy for the game. Let's just read this. Oh yeah, switching from Victor to Charlotte should take a lot less longer, like 1.5 or even 1 second. Because it feels like it takes forever. Like I feel like you should be able to constantly be able to switch between the two to keep like sort of pressure up, if that makes any sense. Remove Victor's red glow from when he's able to be crushed, because it basically treats survivors like babies. And I'd also make no auditory sign that Victor is idle, so like he's always growling, always snarling, whatever. I would still have a visual cue, like with the black smoke that comes, I'd still have a visual cue, so if you just do it out in the open, oh well, he's obviously switched control. Back to Charlotte. But if there's like outside a line of sight, you don't know whether he's just waiting there or actually switched. Oh, removing it takes 8 seconds, yeah, that's fine. What am I thinking? Wait, the auras of other survivors are revealed for 5 seconds? Really? That's a thing? I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice that. How far away is that? Well, I mean, that kind of fucks one of the add-on ideas I had. Oh yeah, lockers. If someone's in a locker, in fact, if someone's not in a locker, Victor can pounce and latch onto the locker. And if he does that, then the survivor either has to stay inside the locker, or they risk being pounced on. So if the survivor's healthy and they go into the locker, it latches onto them and they've got the effects. And if they're injured, they go down. When the locker is latched onto, other survivors can come over and remove it, crush Victor off, or Charlotte can come over, again, negate the cooldown, and just pull the survivor out. Yippity yappity. And it'll also make it so if you have head on, you could just immediately crush him while you're inside the light. That you just burst out and he gets stunned and dies. Kind of make a head on useful for a little bit, you know, if you wanted to. When Charlotte is idle, she needs her red stain and terror radius to be kept. So basically she could just mind game. Like, because it's way too obvious when she is idle, and then it's like, oh, well, whoopity-doo, she's just doing nothing. We can take a big shit on her cornflakes right in front of her, and she won't even know. Normally, standing still, I wouldn't say is a mind game, but in the case, like, it's not like Spirit where like she could be in a completely different position. Charlotte is there all the time. It's not like Charlotte is going invisible and just like you know, dead. And to that extent, either that or I'd have it so that she has that same effect that Victor has, where if survivors are running around her, you know, they have the aura, boop, 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 the killer instinct. Because then it makes her useful while Victor is running around. And I think that is everything I have for killer changes, right? Oh yeah, let Victor close hatch. That's just... I don't know why. I feel like it should be like that. Okay, addons. I changed... I had ideas for addons because they're kind of shit. Like, they're kind of boring. I'd keep silencing cloth the way it is, or if Charlotte does have the red stain tear radius while she's controlling Victor, then I have it so that it removes that while she's idle. So it basically just acts the same, like no matter what version you're in. It really is. Iridescent Bendon. I don't mind this the way it is, but just because I have the obsession of breaking pallets, let Victor break pallets with his pounce, please. Please, it'd be so funny to watch a little gremlin just yeet into a wall and just bust it open. I think it'd be hilarious. Also, spinning top. This isn't actually final. They've said this in the notes that this isn't actually the final, or this is an outdated version of the add-on. Forest Stew, which is the first one I got noted. Survivors that have Victor latched onto them will be affected by Hindred. Which basically just means they run slow because they can't even vault anyway, so the medium vault doesn't matter. Drop a perfume. Yeah, no, I left that the same. Spinning top, I'd have it so that will make it so when you down a survivor with Victor's pounce. Oh no, it's up here. It's up here. When you down a survivor with Victor's pounce, they have a killer instinct mark for like 2 seconds. So it's like quick boop boop, so you can sort of see who's in. That's within a like 16 meter radius. 16 or 8, I don't know. Again, the numbers could be adjusted if this were to even go through. Victor Soldier. What was this one? Survivors in the 6th. Oh yeah, no, this one I don't even. I think you could honestly keep this the same right now. But I would. Yeah, I would change it because it's kind of bad. Kind of crap. 6 seconds. I'd just up the number. Like make it 30 seconds. Make it fucking 20. I don't know. Either that or just completely change. The idea I had was to make it so that survivors that are in a radius while he's charging his pounce have the auras revealed, but apparently that's in the game. Something I didn't even notice. It could have been bugged though. Could have been bugged. Madeleine's Scarf, I'll just buff it to do what Forest already does, so it moderately increases. Rusted Needle, also add the mangled effect to it. This one here, so it's hemorrhage and mangled status effect until her. So it's basically just Sloppy Butcher, but on a gremlin. Gremlin packed Sloppy Butcher. Also nice, got a bit of hair in my mouth. What we got? Sewer Sludge. I just buff it to do what the purple version does, which is moderately increases. Stale Biscuit. I think I left that one the same. Yeah. Yeah, we go straight to uncommons then. Baby Teeth. Make it so all Victor is on them. They are blinded, rather than afterwards. So that, again, it's just more of a hindrance to give. Like, if they're running object, suddenly, not only do they have Victor's aura, they can't see yours, and they have their aura revealed. You can even have it for the 15 seconds afterwards, but I don't think that's necessary. It's literally while Victor's on them, they are blind. Bloody Black Hood. I know I changed this. Oh yeah, I don't actually know the number for this one, but if I was to go with the changing the switch time to 1 second, I would have it so it reduces it by 0.25 seconds. So it goes from 1 second to 0.75 seconds to switch from Victor to Charlotte. Cat's Eye increases the radius. Oh yeah, this one increases the radius of Charlotte's killer instinct while she's idle. That's basic enough. And that was it. I had also some perk changes. I had a perk change idea for Power Struggle, but I'm going to remove that just because I like more stronger perks being added than weaker perks. So if I don't think we should nerf Power Struggle, but we need to buff Oppression and Coup de Grace. Oppression basically just reduce the cooldown. Its effect isn't strong enough to warrant an 80-second cooldown. It's the exact same with Dragon Grip. Dragon's Grip has way too many cooldowns, and this one has too long of a cooldown. It's the same as Dragon Grip, actually. I think it's still 80 seconds. 80 seconds for Dragon Grip and 80 seconds for Oppression, which I think really isn't that good. If it was reduced to 60 seconds or even lower, because base gen regression speed is so slow, it doesn't matter. At least with a perk like Surge, you're getting that 8% or that 8 charges or whatever it is of regression with the effect. And Coup de Grace, basically instead of each time a generator is completed, do it so each time you get a hook. Each time you hook a survivor, you gain a token. So instead of having 5 opportunities using a match, you could have a potential of 11. Because obviously when you get your 12th hook, there's no point. You have 11 chances to use this instead. Because this is really strong. Like, the effect is strong, but you just don't get it enough. And it warrants you actually losing the game. And the description still matches, because obviously the more the more hooks you get in, the closer to killing them all you are. Rather than the closer you the closer you are for the survivors to get to the end game and take a shit on your cornflakes. And that is everything I wrote down for this. Nothing else I can think of at the top of my head. But yeah. It was the same idea I have with Fire Up, actually, because I'm writing a full-on rework of the whole game. I say a whole rework, like whole patch notes of the whole game. Very similar to what Otstarva did, only I'm doing it for like every little aspect of the game. And one of them for Fire Up is every time you hook someone, you gain a stack, rather than every time a gen is completed. Because very similar to Noed, it requires you to lose the game for it to work, basically. For it to work fully, you have to lose the game. And that's kind of dumb. It's like if you had a Soul Survivor, for example. Soul Survivor, for that to work, you have to lose the game. Which is not good. It's kind of poo-poo. If you know what Soul Survivor does, is every time someone dies, or actually no, it works when they escape, but at that point you're right at the end of the game, so you have no perk. But every time someone dies, the killer can see your aura from less distance. Which I don't actually know which perks that affects. Now that I think about it, I don't even know what perk that affects. I think it's literally just meant to be comboed with Object. And Object is just horrible design.